Good evening, I am Mark Seal with your Lime Sports World. Starting with cricket, West Indies women are now 2-up on Pakistan's women after winning their second T20 game at Progress Park in Grenada today. Pakistan, winning the toss and batting, were dismissed for 65 of 19.5 overs. Anisha Mohammed had the impressive figures of 4 for 9, while Pearl Etienne took 2 for 9. The Windies women looked as if they were going to bring it down to the final over just like yesterday, falling to none for 1, 3 for 2 and 29 for 5 at various stages. But player of the match, Stacey Ann King, with 32 not out, led them to 66 for 6 in 18.5 overs to win by 4 wickets with 7 balls to spare. West Indies have a 2-0 lead in the 4-match series, and Game 3 is Saturday in Guyana. On to football, President of the Barbados Football Association, Ronald Jones, has admitted that Barbados is now paying the price after years of failing to bridge the gap between the junior and senior national levels. Mr. Jones says as a result, the senior team is now at a point where many of the key players have reached the point of retirement.
You're now blooding a whole set of new and younger players into the sport. And I believe that it will take between 3 to 5 years to really reach the kind of level and beyond the level that we had reached before. Norman Ford is one of those persons from the past who's still there. But Norman is, I believe, 35 years old. We have been trying to achieve an age average of between 23 to 28. And therefore, that's where a lot of the young people and youngsters, new ones, are now coming into the team. What might have been a mistake in the past is that you did not blend a lot of the youth with a lot of the more senior players, so that as they transition, you would have had those persons who would have gone through several regional and international competitions.
The BFA president was reflecting on Barbados' second consecutive defeat in FIFA World Cup qualifying action.
We have not won against Trinidad and Tobago in so many years, and it's almost like a jinx. Now, Trinidad and Tobago has played in Barbados, and Barbados was going well. In fact, basically up to the first half. And but a better team would do the analysis at halftime and see where they can counter you. And I think that is what happened to Barbados yesterday. But all is not lost. I think we have maybe another 6 games or so to play, and you will find that in this cut and thrust of the sport, experience is being gained. More and more football has to be played by our young team going forward.
Well, it's now up to the senior national team to win all their remaining matches if they're to progress any further in the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. But the coach says it's going to take a miracle. CBC's Melissa Farley reports.
With only 4 games left to play in the first stage of the 2014 FIFA World Cup qualifiers for Barbados, they will have to win them all to gain at least 12 points and stand a chance of staying in the running. Barbados fell twice, both with 2-0 defeats to Guyana last week and then to Trinidad and Tobago yesterday at the National Stadium.
To lose the first 2 games in a competition like this, like I said, is extremely difficult. Our backs are really against the wall now. It will take a miracle, really, for us to progress from this team. We were unfortunate with the first goal that scored on us. I think that changed the game a lot because it really set us back. But I'm not one to look at officiating. I think Trinidad played a good game. So hopefully we will learn from these types of games. It will help them in the football development. Games like these, to handle defeat as a player is not always good. But they're young players and they're learning, and this defeat will serve them well in the future.
Trinidad and Tobago have added 3 more points to move up on 6 after 2 victories, first over Bermuda and then Barbados. Captain Kenwin Jones highlighted that the playing field was not the best, but was however pleased with the outcome.
You know, Barbados is always a tricky team for us. It's never an easy game, and you know we had to try and come up with the tactics to come out on top. And fortunately for us, between the last game and this game, you know, both tactics work. The surface that we're playing on is not the best, you know, but again, it was two teams playing on it, and we had to make do. Unfortunately, a few things were off in the game, but at the end, again, I think our first goal was a very good goal, and well, the second one was a bit scrappy, but at the end of the day, it was 2 goals. So we're quite happy for that, and we press forward from here.
Guyana and Trinidad are both topping Group B on 6 points, but Barbados are yet to score a goal as they now prepare for the October 7th clash against Guyana here at the National Stadium. Melissa Farley, CBC Sports.
Well, thanks, Melissa. As she was just saying, Guyana also recorded their second straight win in Group B FIFA World Cup qualifying action. After beating Barbados on Friday, the Guyanese defeated Bermuda 2-1 yesterday in Georgetown. Both Guyana and TNT now have 2 wins from as many matches. Barbados are set to play the return leg against Guyana in Barbados on October 7th. They'll play against the Soko Warriors in TNT on the 11th of October, while both matches against Bermuda will come off in November. Act 2 Popcorn Clapham Bulls have moved up to 3rd place in the BABA Premier League standings after defeating Cougars last night at the YMCA. Meanwhile, Impact Station Hill Cavaliers are still in 5th position despite their narrow win against British American Insurance Jackson in a game which went into overtime after both teams were tied at 73 at the end of regulation. CBC's Sean Green reports.
The Cougars, playing in blue and white, it came out firing in the first half. Adrian Stewart had a game-high 21 points and 12 rebounds. But he wasn't the only hard worker in this match. Jeremy Gill was his usual self for the Bulls. A steal results in an easy 2. Gill top scored for the Bulls with 20 points. Some good 1-2 passing between Cody Leacock and Holly Franklin. Leacock had 17 in the game. Raheem Gibbons with the 3 and is good. He cashed in with 15 points. Gill was also good from the 3-point line. The Bulls led 43-28 at the half. Cougars tried to get things on course in the second. That's Sean Gaskin with 2 of his 11. But Holly Franklin, who had 10, and the entire Bulls team stampede the Cougars with an 18-point win, 82-60. This game between the Cavs and Jackson in the Black was a lot closer. Kevin Austin nails the jumper. He poured in 22 points for Jackson. At the other end, the Cavs were responding to every bucket scored by their opponents. Jamai Paquin laying up for 2 of his 18. The Station Hill team had a hard time guarding this man. Peter Aline cashing in with a big 3-pointer. He had a game-high 24 points. And Paquin had a good all-round game as well. His 11 rebounds went with his 18-point team high score. At halftime, the Cavs were ahead by 7. And speaking about 7, number 7, Corey Williams, knocking down the 3. He had 18. This is not a replay. It's number 7 again. Williams sinking another big bomb as the Cavs went on to win a very close game, 82-80. Sean Green, CBC Sports.
Well, thanks, Sean. First Works Warriors are still in the lead in the overall standings on 25 points. They are followed by Lumber Company Lakers and Clapham Bulls. Multiple Carifta gold medalist swimmer Sabrina Holder headed the list of 13 athletes who are set to represent Barbados at the Commonwealth Youth Games. These games begin tomorrow in the Isle of Man. The full Barbados team reads in swimming, Holder, Amara Gibbs, Matthew Cordis and Leanne Rose. In athletics, Sonia Gaskin, Keon Joseph and Gerard Mason. In cycling, Russell Elcock and Brandon Wilkie. In boxing, Taj Farley and Leonard Harewood. While in badminton, Moniata Rivera and Javon Gaskin. Lieutenant Colonel Trevor Brown is the chef de mission. Gail Craig Archer is the assistant chef and the chaperone, while Dr. Renee Best is the team physician. Tonight, we continue our look at the teams competing in the Lime Pelican Football Challenge. CBC's Andy Thornhill goes into the camps of TS Ballers and Bajan Pride.
TS strikers know very well only the fittest of the fittest will survive.
The fittest team in this tournament will come over the 100,000 ones.
We gotta work twice as hard to score. Simple.
At the beginning, the training was a little bit hard and rough, I was putting a lot of effort, a lot of hard work. But as the weeks went by, it became easier. You guys been working well, training hard. And I believe that the guys are ready to go.
TS Strikers were sure they've got self-belief.
Who are we?
TS Strikers.
What we come to do?
Win.
What we got to do?
Win.
What we got to do?
Win.
Oh-ho! For the Bajan pride, unity is strength.
We are training, this is 3 weeks in training, and we're trying to gel together, and as I say, unity is my word for the team.
The unity is coming together, the team is starting to gel as a unit, and everyone is playing their part and getting this act together.
Bajan pride is on the uprising. We are not going to give up until the final whistle. Hunter brand is permanent, and that's the ultimate goal.
The Lime Pelican Football Challenge for the kick of your life.
And just one more note in sports. The Trinidad and Tobago game against the Sagicor High Performance Center is to be played at Police. That's Weymouth instead of Keynes de Novel on Friday and Saturday. That's a 2020 games at 2 p.m. Just to note that the games will be played at Weymouth and not at Keynes de Novel.